Now, if you're anything like me, you love old school 80s and 90s hip hop, early 2000s stuff too. But that old school 80s and 90s hip hop was like, I mean, when I was a kid listening to that stuff, and I wasn't even like born when a lot of that stuff was coming out. When I was a kid, the rap that was coming out was like Soldier Boy. Um, it's back like early to mid 2000s, late 2000s. It was just like Soldier Boy. Jim Jones. They kind of went solo, so there was the balling, all that kind of stuff. But when I was young, I really just loved old school hip hop. And when I was a kid, I was wondering why, how come the music and the rapping doesn't sound like this? This is new. This is current. This is like contemporary music. That is considered old school from the time when I was a kid, but it sounded a lot better to me. People rapped a lot better. People had different styles, all kind of stuff, right? But I think it's time to ask ourselves about hip hop producers and how hip hop music, the instrumentals and stuff, are made. Why do we consider like Dr. Dre, Timbaland, DJ Quick, Kanye? Uh, who else could you throw in there? Uh, Rest in peace. What's it? Mossberg. Um, Madlib. Hey, Madlib. You got it. Jay Dilla. Now look, this is the thing. It's very impressive to hear a bass line or a drum break or a drum pattern or a trumpet or a guitar and being able to what they call flipping a sample or dressing it up. Like when you just take a sample and when you take a part of somebody else's song and you just put it into your song, that's called letting the sample run naked. When you do something to it to kind of make it your own, it's called dressing it up. But why do we consider these people like musical geniuses when they're really not? Now you can't call them thieves because they have to clear the sample. That the sample has to be cleared, and it has a lot of times has to be used by the given permission by the either the artist, or if they don't own their own music, the label that the artist was signed to that owns that music. But these people, these producers, they're not musical geniuses. They just heard something. Like it's all sampled. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love I love it. I do. It sounds great. But to me, it's like saying you have a drummer, right? The best drummer in the world, whoever you think the best drummer is, I don't know. You want to say John Bonham? You want to say whoever you want to say, right? That's like comparing them to like a dude who plays the drum pad real well, or like those little you see on TikTok, the drum simulator where you play with your fingers on the screen, and that's impressive. But that doesn't involve the same skill level or dexterity or timing it takes to play a real drum kit. Impressive nonetheless, but it can't overshadow and be more impressive than playing the actual drums. You see what I mean? So these producers, much love to them. They made some great music, but we really got to give it up to the people who actually made the music that was sampled. Because a lot of the music that was sampled in the 80s and 90s hip hop was 60s and 70s funk, soul, R&B. So, and what gets me mad is that when you hear young folks say, I don't want to listen to that old shit. I don't want to listen to that old school shit. But then they'll play like It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. But if you like It Was a Good Day, you if you don't like the Isley Brothers, you at least like Footsteps in the Dark. That's where that comes from. You know what I mean? Like it just, I don't know. Like I said, Shout out to all them producers that made some great beats. I love the art form of hip hop. Being able to take something, it's kind of like making a sandwich, or making take a piece of bread, take another piece of bread, take some salami, take some cheese, take some pepper jack cheese, whatever, lettuce, mayo, mustard, boom, you got you a beat, a sandwich. But at the end of the day, they're not musical geniuses. Great artists, but they can't be considered musical geniuses or musicians. I like to know what you think. I'll holler at you.